And of course now I've sent the last of the attachments to S. Rankin via elance.com, but I know those attachments are going somewhere other than what was advertised on the website, elance.com. Rewrote some articles, as requested for a small amount of money, $225. I logged on, and usual suspects showed up. Helicopters went over, and the feds are so thick yesterday at Rouse. I mean, they're tripping over each other. I mean, it's just comical. Patriot Act allows them to pretty much snoop everything. None of my property has been secure in my possession. Once they access something, it becomes corrupted, altered, and incriminates me. So that goes for my video camera. I've refrained from discussion of the subject, but I suspect that when that was out of my possession, it was also used to take illicit photography, and their concern is that I'm in possession of the camera because if there's illicit photography on there, I've been unintentionally posting the evidence of it all over the internet, my website and everywhere else. So they're very concerned with the fact that it's still in my possession. Now the reason they know that my camera's been corrupted is they participated in the corruption of it, and therefore they're very concerned that I have it when they effect an arrest on bogus charges. I mean, I've said before, and on my website, but I'm pretty sure my website doesn't even display. GoDaddy.com has been a named defendant in the proceedings, and they've been hostile to my interests for some time now. So the website that I put up at Quantrill.com is subject to removal at any time. I doubt if it even displays, but I've discussed these issues in my book. This book is illegal, which the text has been altered before it gets to its destination. My only option is to make paper copies. But back to the camera. While it was out of my possession, once again, somebody got in my favor by using Christian beliefs as a tool, a device to get me to think that they were, friendly. And instead of that, this individual, it's very likely they used my video camera to take illicit photography. And here's some of theirs. Really keeping track of me now. So, but anyway, back to the camera. The camera, while it was out of my possession, it was I'm pretty certain it was used for illicit photography, and that would incriminate me. And then they can use the camera itself as evidence, as they have all through this 15-month experience. Let's say they access my property, it gets corrupted, and then comes back to incriminate me. So at the time of that I'm once again kidnapped by law enforcement on bogus charges, they're very concerned that I have my computer and the camera with me. That way they know that the contents of the computer and the camera will benefit them in their prosecutorial endeavors. And that's how the game's played, These guys are professionals. They're serious. They know what they're doing. I don't. I haven't been able to get counsel, any kind of assistance whatsoever, out of money, out of options. My job applications are torpedoed, for good reason. One of the reasons is I can't make paper copies of these attachments and whatnot. So I can make paper copies, say the March 14th download to Stacy Madsen, Jonathan Hayfetz, Jim Dempsey, Warren Johnson, and others. But they can't download that attachment. There's a version that the Federals have, and then there's the paper copy that I have with me, as well as other paper copies of some documents. But as long as they keep me unemployed, that I have to decide between food, making copies of something, or CDs, which will reproduce a paper copy. But all the files, the document files themselves, are actually programs. They're applications running inside my computer, and were put there from external sources, deliberately, of course, all with the same agenda in mind, which is to incriminate the humble journalist. So I've been watching this, knowing what's going on, the whole time, but I still have to make every attempt I can, in good faith, to try to get gainful employment. If I walk into a place, they walk in after me and make up some story or accusation against me, that the employer doesn't want to hire me. If I try to seek work on the internet, Craigslist or elance.com or one of these other sites, the email doesn't get there. I never get a response to any kind of email communications. I haven't gotten any spam in my GoDaddy account for more than 12 months, 15 months, the whole thing. Back, it's been corrupted, that's because pawn shops, banks, attorneys, everybody, once they can get access to anything, and once they do, my experience has been the pattern of conduct is that it becomes corrupted and turns into a liability instead of an asset, let's say. And emails are just another example. I send out an email, it gets altered, it gets rerouted, delivered to some destination. I have no idea what it says or where it's going. And those emails could be threats. They could be anything that those that want to incriminate me want them to say. So today's April 27th, and I realize that I've run out of time, that there's only one logical endpoint to this. I mean, starvation is one of the options. As a strategy, it's pretty, airtight, I mean, sooner or later, I'll have to, steal a loaf of bread from a store, and they'll be sitting there waiting for me, with handcuffs. And that's your tax dollars at work. The funny thing about it is that there is something funny about it. It's the purpose of this, from their point of view, 15-month investigation, right? Well, once people start lying, they got to keep lying. The lies have to get bigger and bigger until you got this whole concocted scenario that they're trying to affect and portray using their unlimited assets. And pretty soon the lie becomes so big, I mean, it's as big as the earth itself. And that's what's happened here. This thing is so far advanced that it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you got a guy that is indigent, just walking around with his possessions, and they're trying to turn it into something that's huge in its dynamics. One of the suspicions I've had for some time now is that somebody mentioned this to me, and it occurred to me how easy it would be to just set up an offshore account, in somebody else's name. You just do it with numbers, and they can alter text of emails and redirect emails. So that'd be easy, just say, hey, this guy's in the middle of something, and he's stashing his money in some offshore account. Well, they set it up, I mean, it would be easy to do. It's just, got a feeling today's the day that they could say, well, he's indigent, but he's got all this money stashed in an offshore account. So all these things are easily done by people with the expertise and the knowledge and the resources to do these things. They could stash a bunch of money in an account somewhere, and present all this to a grand jury, the FISA court, the judge, whatever, and concoct a pretty good story. But that's what happens. Like I said, the lie just keeps getting bigger and bigger from their point of view. I just try to write it down. And that's the funny part about it is I'm just a guy writing about the feds trying to stop a guy writing about what they're doing to stop me, which is just ludicrous, right? But that's what's going on here, and